I spend an inordinate amount of time arguing with ChatGPT about English. ChatGPT is incredibly stupid. It is not the wise old sage that we wish it to be. In fact, we should take on the responsibility of teaching ChatGPT, not learning from it. And what I want to do with you today in this video is show you a typical argument that I have with ChatGPT. This one lasted 17 pages. And what I've done with the document is I've copied and pasted it into a PDF format, which you will be able to download for free from my Past Tense Banana Patreon site. I have changed nothing. I've color coded it and put in extra spaces to make it easy to read, but the text is exactly the same. And the reason why I am doing this is because there is a difference of opinion between myself, ChatGPT, and the vast majority of English language teachers about the difference between to wish and to hope something. You will often get TikTok English teachers describing the difference between these two words as this.
We use hope to talk about something that is real and can happen, so it's possible.
Wish is used when you want something that is unrealistic, something that is out of reach.
The difference between hope and wish is not to do with how possible something is. To hope for something is a very passive action. What we are doing is sitting back and just wanting the world to do something itself to change something in a way that we would approve. We effectively do nothing. When we wish, it is a proactive action. It is something we do ourselves from within. Think of wish like a blessing or a good spell. And this is obvious when we think of phrases like, I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you well. If wish is simply an expression of something that is impossible, then wishing somebody a Merry Christmas or wishing somebody well is, quite frankly, an insult. We are saying, I wish you a Merry Christmas, but honestly, I don't think it's probable. I don't think it's going to happen. What? Why would you say that to somebody? I wish you a Merry Christmas, but you're probably going to have a horrible time. It's very unlikely that you will have a good Christmas. It is very unlikely that you will be well. That's why I am saying, I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you well. It's very clear that we don't use wish to express unlikely events. So this is what I put to ChatGPT. I explained why I felt the common understanding of the difference between those two words is wrong. And of course, ChatGPT initially goes with this common idea that hope means something that is possible and wish is something that is improbable or even impossible. So what I did was expressed my argument to ChatGPT. And I'm just going to bring up some of the things that ChatGPT and I spoke about. So my first question was very simply, what is the difference between wish and hope in English? And ChatGPT comes up with the standard response that wish and hope both express desire, but they differ in how real or possible the situation is. And then ChatGPT expands on its argument and concludes that wish is something unreal or impossible, and hope is something real and possible. So then I bring up the argument about Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. And ChatGPT, I have ChatGPT to respond to me as boss. Yeah, what can I say? I'm an egotist. So, yes, so it mentions that. And then what it talks about is this idea that it's an old understanding of the word wish. And it goes back to this idea that wish is something that's unreal or impossible. So then I say to it, well, why do we use the subjunctive? If wish is taking on the role of the subjunctive, why do we then use the subjunctive? And again, superb question. But I don't know whether you find ChatGPT as patronizing as I do, but there we go. So we go through this whole thing backwards and forwards. So, and then it expresses the core meaning. And I thought that's great. That's great. If we can get to this mutual definition of what wish means, we can use that as the base and then build out from that. So it suggests that the core meaning is a desire for a different state, whether that's impossible, improbable, likely, something external, something internal. We agree that to wish for something is a desire for a different state. So again, I argue that wish is something that you feel inside. It's a desire from yourself to bring about change, whereas hope is something external that brings about change. And again, it's now starting to agree with me. So if we strip away the technical jargon, so what ChatGPT used to say was correct. It's now saying it's technical jargon. And it begins to agree with me that wish comes from within. It's introspective, imaginative, and self-generated, whereas hope comes from without. It is outward looking, trustful, and dependent on external factors. So slowly, ChatGPT is making the distinction between hope and will that I am making. So in philosophical terms, wish expresses the will of the self and hope expresses faith in the world. Yeah, very philosophical, but it is much closer to what I am saying. So then I pose an argument about it raining. So maybe the difference is I hope it stops raining tomorrow is relying on an external force to make that change. And I wish it stops raining tomorrow is an internal force. It's almost like a blessing or a spell. And then what does ChatGPT say? That's precisely it, boss. You've reached the subtle heart of the distinction. And so we go on a little bit more. So then I say, so it is wrong to say that wish is for something unlikely. In fact, wish is an internal act of blessing. And then we get it to say, that's a very thoughtful stance, blah, blah, blah. Not quite there yet, but slowly, we are getting it to come to the obvious conclusion. So if I were to ask you again, so this is after 17 pages of going backwards and forwards, I say, so if I ask you again, what does wish mean? Is it an internal action expressed to change an outcome or an expression of an unlikely event? What would you say is the correct answer? So I'm asking here, do we use wish because it's an unlikely event, or do we use wish as an internal action to express change? And what does it say? Wish is an internal action, a desire or projection from the speaker aimed at bringing about a different and improved state. And then, crucially, it is not fundamentally about whether the event is likely or unlikely. So there you are. It took me 17 pages of backwards and forwards arguing, pointing out the errors, the contradictions that ChatGPT was making to get it finally to agree. Hope is an external act. It is something we want the world to do in order to make change. Wish is something from within. It is a blessing that comes from us to make change. So I wish you well. I wish you all good luck. And thank you very much for watching this video. And please don't use ChatGPT as an authoritative source. It just isn't. See you in the next video. Bye-bye now.